guys, before I give you a demonstration, I wanted to show you a couple examples of what you can use to accomplish your liner. Now, me personally, I prefer liquid liner. I love liquid liner. And I do use a pencil on my waterline, which is the line on your lower lashes, that inner line, like in almost inside of your eye, if that makes sense. But you have your pencil liner, which are these. You have different colors. You have there's different formulas. There's waterproof if you like waterproof, or if your eyes water and you want waterproof. Like my eyes get watery, so I like to buy waterproof if I'm gonna use it on my lower lash line, which it's not a go-to look for me. I just use liquid liner on my top and that's it. And then white or lighter shades on your lower lash line, your waterline, is going to make your eyes look bigger. It's going to make you look alert, more awake, okay? Then you have your gel pods, okay? These are like a creamy texture, and these you can apply with a brush, okay? They come in little pods like that, and some are waterproof, some are not, some are darker than the other. So it all depends on your preference, what you're looking for. And you basically have to try out different things and see what works for you. Then over here, we have some liquid liners. I love liquid liners. You can vamp up a look, make it look extra dramatic with just adding a little pop of color, some purple, some green, some, orange. I'm usually a black liner type of girl. Again, you have your waterproof and you have your basic liner. You don't have to spend a lot of money on liner. You can get an affordable one. Again, it's preference and what you like and what's in your budget. Then you also have tools that help you accomplish your wing liner when using the gel pods. You can use an angled brush like this one. You can use a thinner brush like this. I prefer, sometimes I buy brushes from like the craft store, and I actually take my scissors around it and I cut it around the edges till I get it really, really skinny and long, because that makes my line extremely crisp. And yeah, so these are some tools that you can use. Again, very affordable products. You don't have to spend a lot of money, guys, to accomplish a wing liner. Also, another tip, tape. Now, this is duct tape. I usually don't use this, but my clear tape that I had in my vanity somehow disappeared. But you can use this tape. It has a straight edge like this. I will show you this trick in a few seconds. So you can use tape as well. Also, concealer can be your best friend when trying to accomplish a wing liner. I'm going to demonstrate on each eye. I'm going to do a pencil liner and I'm going to do a liquid liner, so you guys get an idea on how I accomplish my wing liner. All right, guys, so I want to show you the trick that I do. Well, I don't do, but a trick that's going to make it easier for beginners on doing a liquid liner. So we're going to start with this eye first. We're going to do liquid liner. Don't mind the brows. I don't have eyebrows, guys. That's why I have to pencil them in. That's going to be the next video, so stay tuned for that. So what I do is I take a piece of duct tape like so. I'm sorry, guys. Like this. Okay. And you see it has a straight edge. What you want to do is place it on the back of your hand to remove some of that tackiness, because you do not ever want to pull the skin around your eyes. They will create wrinkles, guys, so you want to be extremely careful. So what you're going to do is you're going to place that piece of tape on the corner of your lower lash line. Okay, your lower lash line is here. Okay, so from that bottom corner here, and you're going to bring that, put it in an angle. So depending on how you want your line, if you want your line going up, you're going to place it going up. If you want it further out, you can put it further out, but I like mine going upward, so I'm going to place mine up like so, just like that. And usually from the corner of my bottom lash line to the end of my brow is usually where I will put tape if I need to. Again, this is not a step that I do, but this does make it a lot easier for people who are starting or want to practice. Now, I prefer a liquid liner, so I'm just going to use my e.l.f. felt tip liner. It looks like that. Okay, it's a felt tip and it leaves your line nice and straight. It is very pointy at the end, and the beginning of it is kind of on the thicker side, so you can make your line thicker that way. But let's show you how I do my line. Now, I'm one to always start from the inner portion of my eye. I always start in the beginning and then I work my way out. So it's easier if you put your hand on a flat surface. So when you're working on your liner, you have a steady hand. Some people are very nervous or they shake a lot. So I recommend putting your elbow on a flat surface, something that's not going to move, so it's easier for you to apply your liner. So let's go ahead and start. I need to grab a mirror because I need a little bit something closer to my face so that I can see, because I am blind. So starting off, I want to make sure that I'm not covering the view either. So starting off, I start in the inner portion of my eye and I place my product down. Excuse me if I can't really talk while I'm doing my liner. It's usually very hard for me to talk while I'm doing my liner, but I start here and I'm just gonna quietly do my line. So just guys, pay attention. Like so, okay? Now you can, when you're starting off, you can start very slowly and do your line little by little. You don't have to do the whole thing. If I show you the way I do mine, then you'll probably get lost because I just do mine really quick. But again, I've been doing this for a long time. So you start off again where you left off and you continue to draw your line. Okay? Now you see there's a gap between my lashes and the liner. We're going to go back in and fill that in once we have the shape that we want. Now, my line is not complete here, but I like to start off with my wing next. So I start at the corner of my eye where the tape is at, and we're going to go right above that tape and we're going to draw our line as long as we want it. Like that. Now notice I went over top of the tape, which is fine because that's the point of the tape, to make the line sharp and keep it clean. So now what I like to do is next is I like to connect from where I ended to where I ended on this side. So we're going to cut, basically like connecting the dots. You want to connect those two lines. Like so, okay? And as you can see, you have your shape of your liner. So now all you have to do next is go in and fill in your gaps. Now notice I'm not holding it straight or like this. I'm holding it on an angle so that with the side of the applicator, you can go in and fill in all the blank spaces that you left. Okay? And you just go in and that's basically your liner. Okay? That is your liquid liner. Now what we're going to do is we're going to remove the piece of tape. And when you remove this tape, make sure that you hold your skin as you pull it off, because if the tape is still extremely tacky, you don't want to tug the skin, okay? And there is your liner, guys, okay? Again, if you want to drag it out more, you can. You can make the line longer if you want, but this is how you can do a basic, very simple wing liner, okay? Now, let's say if you didn't use the tape and you had some liner out on this area, you will take your concealer, okay, whatever concealer you use, and you will take an angled brush like so, and you're just going to pick up a little bit of product and you're going to go against that line where your liner is at, and you're basically going to go against it and you're going to clean it up, okay? And you're basically going to sharpen your line, and of course you're going to clean that up. You can clean that line up. Make sure you blend it out very well, and you can go with your finger and blend it out some. These are just steps, guys, that will make it a little easier for you. Practice makes perfect, guys, and even practicing still doesn't make you perfect. Doesn't make the product go on perfectly, but trial and error. You do it a couple times, you mess it up, and you go back and you do it again. Okay, so now this one was a liquid liner. Let's go in with the pencil liner. All right, guys, now this is the next eye. Let's go in and use a pencil liner. So now we're going to go back in with this tape. It's the same one. I just ripped it in half. And again, we're going to go from the lower lash line and, lower lash line, and we're going to put our tape. Okay, now we're going to go in with a pencil. Now, I am not a fan of pencil. Let's be honest. I am a liquid liner type of girl. The issue I have with pencil liner, especially on my upper lid, is that with pencil liner, you have to, it's easier for me to use something that's sharp. And with pencil liner, the point's not always sharp. So you either have to keep sharpening it or get a pencil that's mechanically sharpened on its own once you put the lid on. The one I'm going to use is by Smashbox, and this one does, once I put the lid on, it's actually this one here, and it's by Smashbox. Once it goes flat, I put the lid back on and it kind of sharpens it back up for me. So I'm going to be using this one today. I do not like when my pencil goes flat. I feel like I can't do a line on my top with a flat pencil, and I am not a fan of pencil. So I'm actually doing this part for you guys that have requested this video, but let's get right into it. So again, we're going to start in just like I did with the bottom, with the other eye, I'm sorry, and we're going to start in the inner portion of our eye. I'm going to be looking this way because my mirror is actually over here. So we're going to start in the inner portion, and we're going to start drawing that line like so. Okay, my eye is going to get watery because with the pencil you have to kind of go over it a couple times for it to get dark, versus the liquid liner, you just go over it once, and if you have a good liquid liner, it just goes on dark and you can just go over it once and you're done. With this pencil, I feel like I'm constantly going over it. Again, you have to find the best formula that works for you. Again, I'm not one for pencil, so I have what I have, and again, I never use pencil on my top eyelid. So moving along, you just continue to drag your line. Okay, now we're going to go into the wing. Like I said, I like to do my wing. Okay, that's how long I want my wing. Now we're going to connect it, and see my point, it's still a little pointy. And we're going to go across and connect it. And now we're going to go in and fill in any blanks. And you're also going to touch up and straighten up any line. Okay. Again, I feel like this one takes a little longer than using a liquid liner. I prefer a liquid liner than a pencil. So now again, we're going to take this down, and your line should be nice and crisp like so. Okay, eyebrow routine is going to be next, but there you go. You have your pencil liner, and then you have your liquid liner. Okay, guys.